Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is August 13th, 2022. Before we get started, this video is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right. And also, if you haven't signed up to be a super follow yet on my Twitter account at AlphaCharts365, please go ahead and do that. There's a small charge, it's $10, but I want to let you know what you get. I'm going to keep this short. Obviously on Saturdays you're still going to get the state of the market like I'm doing today. That's for everybody. Many Saturdays I do a special stocks to watch type of video, things that are not quite set up yet but look really good to keep our eyes on Sunday. I do regular stocks to watch, but I also do my top setups. I write a market note. In the top setups, I go ahead and I actually annotate the charts and I tell you what I'm looking for to get in it, where I would put my stops, and so on and so forth. So you get fully annotated charts and again, it's only 2 or 3 of them because I'm only looking for the best setups that I would take and do take, maybe not all of them, but many of them, each and every week. Also, every other week, I make a long view video. Again, that's for the weekly charts. Okay. Great for people that are working full time or have a longer time horizon. Every day of the week, I give you all my scans, at least the ones that are really showing great names. So you get scanning every single day, Monday through Friday. On Tuesdays, I do a midweek video. I also follow up on my setups that we talked about on Sunday. So make sure that we, again, keep them in mind. On Thursday, I do a midweek note to let you know, again, what's going on in the markets and, again, how bullish or bearish we should be and how aggressive we should be in the market. And my DMs are always open to y'all. So many people will DM me, hey, I'm in this position, this is what's going on. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what I would do in that position. And so again, never trading advice, but it's just what I would do in that position. Okay. Again, that is a super follow. That's on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below. If you're interested in that type of, I don't even want to call it a service, but it's kind of that kind of information coming your way. Go ahead and check that out. I appreciate that. Let's get this video started. I don't want to write too long about this. State of the market. So far, it has been a very strong market. You see, we had the head and shoulders top. We had, it touched where we thought it could or should, right over here. And you know what? We've had a very strong move higher. We made a low here. We got to this area. We pulled back just a little bit. Shows you how strong this market is. We moved higher. Right overhead, we do have this 200-day moving average still declining. It may offer some resistance. I would be very careful up in this area if you're long or aggressively long. We've had a really nice move off the bottom, from here to here, 17.5%. So, it could end up being close to a 20% move. And then we'll see, right? We'll see. Let's see how RSP has been. Yeah, RSP actually is above the 200-day moving average. I mean, super bullish, right? I mean, this tells you how people are buying a lot. Look at this. But it is going straight up now. And it's right, we'll say above, but right at the 200-day moving average. We'll see if this gives it any problems next week with the equal weight S&P right over there. Real interesting. What will be interesting if we see RSP pull back and SPX move higher with the mega caps kind of carrying it into the 200-day. That'd be kind of interesting. Looking at the Qs, we still have some room to the 200-day. This purple line was the VWAP from the beginning of the year, and so we're above that. Again, 200-day, we're above the downtrend line. Didn't quite make the inverse head and shoulders. It just kept going. But again, it's been pretty strong. I think this 314-ish area is the area to watch now. If it does move higher, then kind of pulls back or whatever, you'd want to see 314-ish hold. That's on the Qs, equal weight Qs. Same story, below the 200-day still. Would love to see this, kind of, it needs to consolidate, to be honest with you. it needs to consolidate, but I do like how it's setting up. Don't think things go straight up, and which it has basically gone straight up. This is not the way things will work long term. So just be careful, for these pullbacks. Again, I thought, some of these pullbacks, they're short, right? So that's, again, shows you how powerful this move has been. IWM, again, right above the 200-day, then that $200 psychological level. Beautiful, super strong off the bottom. Never made that inverse head and shoulders that I was really thought it would. So just, again, shows you how strong this market is. Held where it had to, right? One of our main areas, which was this gap, it filled. We talked about this area, and then said maybe it'll dip below to this gap. And it did, and then held and rocket off the bottom. But now it's starting to get, again, it's up, from the bottom in a fairly short period of time, 23%. That's huge. Okay. So expect it to come back. Would love to see, 190-ish. 190 holds, and then we get a bounce. That's really, really bullish. IWO, small cap growth, same idea. I mean, that's all the pullback we got right there, right? I was like expecting to kind of pull back because this was pretty strong and just kept going, declining 200-day right above it. So again, just be careful. That's the story for most of the index charts. The 200-day, it's either right at or right below the 200-day moving average, declining. That's where the rubber meets the road, in my opinion. Let's look at mid caps real fast because I think I missed them. There's your mid caps. Mid caps above the 200-day. It's kind of nice to see. Again, this greenish area, that's what I'm looking for. It's gone straight up. Again, this is not going to continue. It's up. You can almost see a 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's your 5 right there. So I would be expecting some sideways chop to ensue, and that's the best case scenario. And it's 200-day to move. Hopefully to start to flatten out, and that's what happens. Mid caps are looking pretty good. All right, let's go. XLF again held where it had to. We talked about this, right? We talked about this. 2007 highs. There's your 2018, 2020, and came back, just retested, right, on the monthly and the weekly, just retested, right, and now going back to the daily. Bounced, moving higher, going straight up, right? It's vertical right there. So maybe it's gonna, need to kind of chop around or whatever. Also this area right there seems like it could be, potential issue coming up here too. So, but as an indicator, it's doing what we want it to do. That's all we can say about that. SMH. Almost followed the plan perfectly, right? I drew that in last week. Looks good. It's got that inverse head and shoulder look to it. There's your 200-day kind of overhead. It's got to get through this area, but it's not doing anything wrong. It's setting up for a move higher. Is it leading, right? We like to see SMH leading. I can't say it's leading yet. So maybe we need a little corrective action, and then SMH leads out of that action. I think that would be pretty bullish, right? So we will see if that continues. But at least it's definitely participating, and we'll see if it leads on the next leg whenever that starts. Looking at transports, XTN again, super strong, participating, leading, doing great. This was, the important level again, held where it had to. That's really cool. Straight off the bottom, there's your kind of like V bottom. I don't know. I'm not saying we're going to come back and we're going to retest these lows. No idea if we are or aren't, but I do think that this is unsustainable with a Fed Reserve that is still hiking rates. We're forward looking. That's going to be that is going to be, I don't think it's sustainable, but I love as an indicator, it's doing everything it's supposed to do. And finally, housing. Everyone's saying that's how housing is going to crash. Well, home builders are rebounding just nice. They're participating. Again, all parts of, I use these as a view into the economy. They're all doing good. So whatever recession fears you have, whatever, the market's out looking out and saying, whatever we're in, it's going to be short-lived, because 6 to 9 months later, next year, things will be better. and that's year 3 in the presidential cycle. And so it should be interesting. So, but they're saying it's going to be fine. All right. So what's the VIX telling us? The VIX is saying we're in a trending market. Everything's okay, right? So we are, what's not to like about this, right? Let's get rid of all that stuff and switch this to line chart. Easier to see. Yeah, we're under 20 right now, VIX. Right. So again, that's a great bull market right now. We'll see if it continues lower or if it just kind of stays in this area, and that's fine too, right? If it stays in this area, that's just a bullish market. We're in a bullish conditions. Looking at bond spreads, right? We want to see these tightening, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the tightening. We have since beginning of June, really. It peaked, right? And we started seeing lower highs and lower lows as June and July happen, and we're still seeing that. So this is exactly what we want to see for bullish conditions to ensue. Great, beautiful. Breadth, right? What are we seeing? Breadth. Breadth is starting to get into that overdone area, right? So again, this is where we expect pullbacks to happen, right? Every time we get into this red area, it's a little overheated. So this is where the pullbacks tend to happen. So just be careful up there, right? Especially like starting new positions. We may have a pullback that we can, buy into, every time, right? We pull back when we get into this red area. Now, sometimes it stays up here for a little bit of time, sometimes it goes even higher, but this tells us, be careful with new positions. Gold, I know somebody yelled at me for not doing gold. There ain't much to see in gold. Yeah, it's not doing anything wrong, but it's not leading or anything like that. And as an indicator, it's really not showing much. And I always like to look at Bitcoin, because a Bitcoin I feel like is an indicator, and has been actually better than gold as far as telling us risk on, risk off. And it was a bear flag that was supposed to break down. It didn't, and it's making higher highs and higher lows. There is nothing wrong with what's going on with Bitcoin, in my opinion. It's a very nice trend line right here that is just kind of following at this point. So again, it's risk on, I think. Is it like, is it going to come back into this area? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a shock. Ethereum, look at Ethereum right now because the merge is coming, and it's really starting to outperform Bitcoin, which is really interesting. So we'll see what and this was a important gap down or something over here. But yeah, but Ethereum is actually doing amazing. And so if crypto is doing amazing, then chances are we're on a risk on environment. So let's sum this all up. Things are looking really good, but I think we're extended. I think we're overheated. I think that you need to pick and choose where you want to start new positions. I don't think Monday morning, in my opinion, is the place to start a new position. Even if the market moves a little bit higher, I think that that we are due for a pullback, but within the context of hopefully a new bull market. Now we still have a declining 200-day. Sorry, that was GitLab. Again, this my annotations for my super follows. Again, it's fully annotated. If you're interested in that. That was one of my stocks to watch from a couple of weeks ago that I gave them. But looking at we're just with RSP, I think that was a good coming in 200-day moving average. It was right there. Let's put that back on. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, we're seeing a lot of these straight up moves. Expect to come back. Maybe a retest of this area. That'd be super healthy. And then maybe it could chop around and move higher, right? We're coming into a rough time of year. Just remember seasonality. Just finish off this thought. Even if we move higher, don't really break down towards right now. But then September and October are usually rough months in the stock market, seasonally, traditionally. So just be real careful. Again, starting new positions, get those good entries so you can manage risk. All right. That's what I got for you today. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, Alpha Charts 365 on Twitter. If you're interested, link down below for the super follow. Check that out. Tons of information, very low price, trying to make it affordable for everybody. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.